Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome back to the daily forecast for Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. Happy Mercury's Day to you. As a reminder, we are in Aries season. It is the Celtic tree month of Alder. We are Mercury retrograding in Aries, and we are in a waxing moon. Our astrology for today, we haven't had any changes since yesterday, as you can see. The sun remains in Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing courage. The moon is in first quarter Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing practicality. Mercury is retrograding in Aries, cardinal fire sign representing fiery tempers. Venus is in Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing impulsiveness. Mars is in Pisces, mutable water sign representing curiosity. Jupiter is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing imagination. Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing reformation. And we have our Mercury retrograde mantra: rethink, revise, redo. So, waxing crescent, and when the moon is in this phase, be very creative, make your plans of actions, and communicate. The Taurus moon, a lot of your do's are practice groundedness, adopt realism, and reject distractions. Don't attempt to convert people to your point of view. Don't be too hasty in your actions, and don't improvise if you don't have to. So we are in the day of Mercury, and Mercury is still retrograding, and that is probably tossing out all kinds of things that you thought were buried into your subconscious. It's like, instead of, opening up that closet door, seeing there's a mess, and carefully taking off one item at a time and organizing things in the process. No, it's just a free for all. We're just taking this and taking that, and we're going to spill it all around, and then we'll have a bigger mess, and we'll see what's happening. You will get to the bottom of the closet, and you can sort things out, but it is quite an ordeal. And sometimes that's how it feels during these retrogrades, and it's just what it is. So if you can, try to look at this as an opportunity to have a voyage of discovery, and as an opportunity to evolve beyond outmoded thought patterns and conduct. Just reassess things. Is everything that you have in your interior cupboard, is it really necessary? Is it really serving a purpose? Is it really what you want? Is this something that you can kind of toss and pitch out? See it as an opportunity to do internal spiritual spring cleaning. You've probably spring cleaned your house enough this up until this point in the season, if you've been, working in harmony with the various sabbats. Now it's time to really do some work on the interior. Our tarot card for today is the Ancestor, representing ancient lineage and memory. Some things to cultivate would be respect, just generally, particularly respect for the past. Do some pathworking meditations, and practice becoming more open to guidance, particularly people who are in a position to offer us good guidance, people who are mature, who are wise, who have good life experience. And of course, the challenge is the fear of the wild. When we are going into these unknown realms, it is like stepping into a forest. You don't know what animals are there. You don't know if the plants around you are helpful or harmful. You just don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, and that can be very scary. And sometimes it can prevent you from entering into that forested realm. But the Ancestor is here to guide you. So grasping hold of that guidance, trusting it, allowing it to help you navigate your way through these woods, that'll all be to the benefit. Our Celtic triad for today reads: 3 kinds of evil people: the traitor, the conspirator, and the slanderer. So traitors, those who break fealty, they break the bounds of kith and kin, they break their oaths. Not nice people at all. It is an extraordinarily horrible thing 9 times out of 10 when people do turn against the people who had some right to expect some allegiance from them. And then conspirators, these are people who practice sneak attacks, who they're talking behind your back, planning behind your back. They practice underhanded skullduggery. Not a good thing. they do tend to, more often than not, wreak a considerable amount of evil upon the world. And then slanderers. Malicious lying for the purpose of destruction. This isn't someone who misunderstood or got something wrong, or perhaps allowed things to get out of hand. This is someone who is intentionally and knowingly trying to create problems, trying to destroy someone or something, not on the basis of truth, not on the basis of anything that is just because this is how they gain power. This is how they get back at that person for whatever it was. It's just, it is. I feel icky even talking about these things, and it should make all of us feel icky. These shouldn't be looked upon as admirable courses of conduct. Next up, we have our magical intention for today, which is focused on agriculture. The color is brown, the plant is cinnamon, the animal is the earthworm, and the crystal I chose is jasper. And on a word about the earthworm, I do think that some of the smaller, less prominent animals are not being sufficiently appreciated by our pagan community. We're not looking to them for the wisdom and lessons that is innate within their nature and their function in the natural world, however necessary it is. These are unsung heroes, they go unappreciated. And I mean, it's cool if you have a guide who's a wolf or a dragon or any of this else. But there's no less dignity as if you happen to have a guide who, for at least for a period of time, is the earthworm. If you ask me, I think a lot of what we're doing here, people who are speaking about paganism publicly, those who are doing videos, who are writing books, people who are being open about their faith and their practices on social media, and even more importantly, with the people around them, that they are seen to be pagan, they are seen to follow certain observances and customs. I do think we are all collectively acting like the earthworms. We are preparing the soil. We are preparing things for future pagan generations and for future pagan civilizations. Agriculture isn't just, the corn and the wheat in the fields that's growing literally at this moment. Part of the agriculture on a magical level is what kind of world are we creating together? And whether you're a practitioner of the craft or not, that is something that is relevant to you, because I would presume that if you find value in paganism, that you would want it to continue to exist in the world and to have a broader reach of influence. So there's no shame in being like that earthworm. There's a lot to be said for the value and function of earthworms. But blessing the land and infusing it with beneficial energy, it helps the effort to create a good harvest. And again, this is whether we have a literal or a figurative harvest, whatever the case may be. I don't know if my microphone picked up, but there's more hissing and growling again. Right. Daily practices for today. Focus on your roots, your family roots, your cultural roots, your spiritual roots. Just get connected in with that. That's working in harmony with the magical intention for the day. And then, how is your garden growing? Whether it is, the veggies that you planted or the flowers that you planted or the ideas you are planting in your mind. How is that garden growing? Are you taking care of it? Are you cultivating it? Are you ensuring its survival? You might try some divination for guidance today. And then I want you to toy around with the concept of hygge. That's something that comes from the Danish. It's about a sense of well-being, care, and general coziness, things, helping people being in a very healthy state. And usually people talk about this, in the autumn and the winter when things are very cold, but also having that sense of well-being. I think that's something that's relevant to the springtime. It's relevant to summer. It's about the appreciating those small, everyday little comforts. So, what are those things in your life, and are you taking a moment to really have appreciation and gratitude for them? Speaking of which, practice gratitude. No matter where we are in life, there is something to be grateful for. And I was listening to a recent podcast. It was Tree of Life podcast. It had Jacob Todson from Wisdom of Odin and his his co-host. I'm so sorry, I forget her name. It just flew out of my mind just now. But they were talking about gratitude, and they were talking about something as simple as their coffee in the morning. Being grateful for the fact that the beans exist, being grateful that someone farmed the beans and then sold the beans and transported the beans, and and that someone created this coffee pot so that we're able to actually make their coffee. And I put in creamers, so I should be thankful for the cows that ultimately came from. And by the time you go through all the various things you have to be grateful for, all the work and all the people who went into you just being able to have your cup of coffee in the morning, it tends to put everything into perspective. There's a lot more to be grateful about than there is to complain about if you just stop and think about it. Our fae of the day is Lian Si. The Lian Shi are known to inspire people, almost kind of like a Celtic form of muses, depending on the story. So, what aspect of your life would benefit from inspiration? Handy dandy thing for the creatives amongst us. That is what I have for you today, gang. Of course, tomorrow there will be another edition of the Daily Forecast. In the meantime, let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, or send me an email at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com, and I'd be happy to chat with you there. But that'll do it for right now, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.